who's I'm number two. I'm number two in the nation, but it gave me so much confidence. I was from that then on. I'm number one, number one, number one in the nation, going everywhere. Just had the confidence, and that's how it really kicked me in the boxing, man. I addicted because it's so much fun. To me, with my style, it was a lot of fun.
So it was. So your dad, he wasn't really pushing you to do it. It was in you. You kind of was motivated on your own to do it. Nobody, like they say, like some parents, they want to force what their passion was on their kid, but you saying that
Yeah.
you naturally evolved into a prize fighter.
Yeah, it was like that. My father was like this. If you come to the gym, you gonna work. But if you ain't gonna come and work at the gym, keep your butt home. That's how it was. So if you want to go to the gym, you got to work. So I started falling in love with, just going to the gym training. But I didn't have the confidence in the ring until I was 17. Then I just fell in love with boxing because I seen where boxing could take me. I was like, man, I'm in Olympic trials. Man, I'm part of elite boxing now. I'm like one of the main guys. And it felt good. It made me work on my craft so much more. Next year, I'm number one in the nation. Next year, I'm number one, going traveling the world, finish with Olympic silver medal. Man, what could be better than that? I mean, boxing has given me everything, taught me almost everything I know. It's embedded in me. So me fighting at 50 means nothing. I've been doing this since I was a little kid. I breastfed on boxing. I mean, everything. My mother, father, all the boys, the three girls know how to box. My sister was world champion. We even had a dog that was a boxer. So we had boxing everywhere. It's just in us. Think about it, my father was an Olympic coach. He was an Olympic head coach in 1992. I'm on the same team with my father. So he made the Olympics before I did. I was like, man, he working just as hard as me.
And I know that made you step it up because like your dad had already set the standard. If you come to the gym, you need to be serious and a commitment. So you didn't want to be on his team lacking, So I know that was also that extra support, because I don't look at it as, hard. Like you said, you love doing it. So in that case, your dad was more of a support visual for you.
Yeah.
Stay committed to what you was doing.
Yeah. He was, but it was my mother. My mother was in the corner too. She was the one that pushed me she felt in her heart, nobody could beat my son. So since she felt like that, you got to feel like that. Nobody could beat you. You're not tired. You get up. My mother used to get us up to run. I'm 8, 9 years old. We up running 5:36 in the morning. Get up, go run. Make us go to the gym. My father was the one like, my mother like, When she found out we started loving boxing, she pushed us to a whole nother level. She was like, nobody could beat my kids. See, my brother Patrick never fell off in boxing. He was killing it throughout from the time he started boxing till he turned pro, basically. And that's when he started losing that desire. But for me, I picked it up when I was 17. Like I started hitting my mark. And then when I was 21 in the Canada Cup, that's when I really showed. Everybody was like, wow, that kid can fight. And I had all these international fights. I've been fighting in the U.S., everything. But when I went to the Canada Cup, the whole world was like, wow, I put on a clinic. And it was a defensive clinic. I was fighting off the ropes. They can't understand that. Like, the ropes is my playground. I mean, I go to the ropes for 12 rounds and just play on the ropes and clown you like crazy. That's why I want to get in front of Canelo Alvarez. He lay on the ropes now. I see him trying to slip. He's trying to make guys miss. Who the slickest? That's how I feel. Get in front of me. Let's see what you got.
So that
I've been doing this since I was a kid. So this is like.
So that shoulder roll, which I did see you do as well. It's a Michigan thing. Is it Michigan or Philly? Because some people say Philly started the shoulder roll, but then Mayweather and y'all kind of mastered it where, man, that nobody could touch y'all.
Yeah, but see, like me and Floyd, my father used to train Floyd Sr. I used to see Floyd Sr. in our gym when I was little. I mean, he used to clown everybody. I mean, he could box his butt off. So, like the shoulder roll, honestly, for me, it came natural. Like I just did it one day. I'm like, okay, all this stuff is just coming natural. I do a double shoulder roll. Like both, you throw both ways. I did in the fight 2 shoulder rolls. So it's something that come natural. They say Philly. I'm like, well, I guess they do it, but I do it different. I mean, I'm not in a shoulder roll. I'm just trying to defend myself. And my shoulder is, to me, my shoulder is a glove. It's an extra pad. And so if a punch come, if I don't have my hand up, I just pull my shoulder up. That's all. For me, that's what I do. I'm just unusual with my body in the ring, I guess.
That's your instinct. Like you said, that's your instinct just as a fighter, just, subconsciously, you just do it. You don't have to work on that. That explains why you're good at it, because it's second nature to you. You all of
Yeah.
those elements that you use, they they came to you naturally. So that's another one. What about B Hop? I mean, how I just can't understand how all of these fighters, they missed you. That they moved up, and
They didn't miss me on like it was a mistake. Like, oh man, I'm trying to find you. They know what they're doing. Come on, I'm right here. Now I'm back. I called out Oscar, Floyd, Bernard. I called everybody out.
oh, you
Everybody saying I'm too big, I'm this, I'm that. I mean, I'm hearing all these excuses. And I knew that. Who want to fight? I'm the unusual one. So my thing is I gotta go to the kids. And now we're in a social media era. I call you out and blast you on social media if you don't want to fight. These guys for years, the commentators would say he's the best in the world, he's this, he's that, and nobody really studied boxing. You avoided 5 guys. How are you the best? But the perception, you fighting on HBO make you think you're the best. I'm like, no, they haven't fought me. Come to me.
Well, they say
You got to
HBO.
fight the best.
Well, now that HBO is done, and they say PBC say, they trying to make all the fights. So
Yeah.
are they? Do you believe in them? You believe that they really trying to make all of the fights?
Hey, whoever, because you got Eddie Hearn on the other side as big with a lot of fights. You got the zone backing them with the same with I mean with the PBC is just huge. My thing is it's like the Terrence Crawford. Dang, I forgot the boy name. I got it on my mind. The lefty, considered the best in the division. Those two, one with PBC. Who was that? Errol Spence. Yes, Errol Spence. That fight should have been made a minute ago. It's like Deontay Wilder and Joshua. Come on, man. Y'all both heavyweight champions. Y'all both heavyweight champions. I need a year.
So they
what? What
trying.
era is this? Where everybody avoid what happened to the Ray Leonard, Hagler, Heard? Let's prove who the best. Who? I mean, I understand. Let's hype it, build it to a certain level. But sometimes they're making it so long that it seems like this ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna never happen. Then it just fades out. Like, okay, they should have fought 2 years ago. Man, make fights. That's what boxing about, is making the major fights.
You got these greedy.
I want to be the best in the world.
You got these greedy promoters, because like you said, as a fight fan, just me as a fight fan, I look for these fights. I'm willing to pay $50, $60, $70 for the for the pay-per-view. Me and my bros, we get wings and food, and we looking forward to this stuff. Lose or draw, we just want to see a good fight. We ain't really looking at
I love it.
First time or how they lost. We looking at who really been studying their craft and really putting the work in on their craft to be the best at what they do.
Woo, I love your mentality, brother.
Sir, listen, when you were fighting, that's how we looked at that, because you made no excuses. You fought, win or lose, you put it all on the line. Can't nobody do nothing but respect that. That's why when you were talking about, the Vlad situation, it's like, yeah, okay, everybody know this dude is 6'8", but nobody counted you out until the fight was over. You know what I'm saying? To us, man,
Yeah.
Chris can win this fight, man. He got the heart to win it.
Mm,
He got the heart to win
yeah.
it. You saw what he did to Vitaly. He got the heart to win it.
I
So
appreciate that, bro.
it wasn't never. So when you lose, it's like, okay, yeah, but how many people got the heart to really do that? You know what I'm saying? So even in losses,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a victory. You know what I'm saying? In the sense that you made no excuses. You didn't, and it seemed like you would have fought again. Like, it seemed like
I wanted to fight. I wanted to fight him. Yeah.
yeah. So that
You're right.
what my students can take from this is just the hard work, and that really hard work and dedication that you could put into something, and like you said, it gave you everything. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you big time. I'm listening. I'm like, you put the hard work in, but the biggest thing is don't give up. If you start something, you have something in your mind where you want to reach to that high level, get past that level. I was in chronic pain for 11 years.
I remember.
Did you know that?
I remember.
So going through the chronic pain, man, oh man, it was tough. All kind of pain, just different pains. But getting through that is bigger than any career, any fight I had, anything. Mentally, you got to go deep in the mind and be like this. No, I'm a warrior. I can get over anything. I was suicidal. I was severely depressed. I mean, I'm life over. I had a hip replacement. I needed both my shoulders replaced. I needed my other hip replaced, but I had neuropathy, the nerves. Goodness, I had in my foot. It would jump to my other foot, then it started coming up my leg, and then it started coming in my hands. Brother, all this was at the same time. My hips, I'm like, life over. And then start studying. I gotta do something to keep the pain, so the pain won't just drive me so crazy. So I started reading, studying, all kind of stuff. Start studying the body, how you can heal the body naturally. Because I can't take prescription drugs. Almost got arrested downtown LA 2011. I lost it. Lost my mind. It was prescription drugs. So I can't take that. I'm going through this pain stuff. Cannabis was helping out. But man, the mind and being in a positive attitude all the time, be like, no, I'm not going to take no for an answer. No, I'm going to get better. In the mind, I'm going to get better. Every day, work it. And then a friend of mine, Tammy Thomas, a cannabis expert, hit me the cannabis the right way and how to take it and help heal the body. But you got to be positive and willing to do it and go through all the days you sleep 2-3 days because the cannabis will put you there. But you got to go through it. But at the end of the day, anything in life is like this. If it's a hard goal, you try to get there, is how bad do you want it? How bad did I want to get well? Am I gonna play the victim? Oh man, I'm sick. I'm hurting. Oh man. I said, forget that. I'm getting my life back. One life. One life. I'm 50 years old. If I live to 100, most people don't even live in the 70. If I live to 100, I already lived half my life. Half. Look how fast this came. I told myself, I like, forget that. I'm going to treat everybody with respect. I'm going to love everybody. I'm going to be positive, and I'm going to try to connect the country, then the world. Because it's all about positivity. Man, we're here to enjoy each other instead of all this racism, politics, all this craziness going on. No, let's enjoy each other, man. We got one life. Let's get it.
Let's get
I'm
it.
sorry, man. I get excited, brother. I
No,
get excited, man. I made it through. I didn't take my life, man. I didn't do it. I made it, brother. I made it through. So since I made it, I'm gonna enjoy my life every moment. I'm gonna make sure everybody else enjoy their life too. I'm gonna be so positive. I made it. And I love life. I hated life. I hated my life. I hated it. Now it's the best thing going. I'm like, man, the universe has blessed me. And so I'm like, I'm gonna try to bless everybody else. Let's get it.
let's get it. Let's get it. That's you a living testimony of.
Let's go.
That's it. You a living testimony, brother, of let's get it. You know, you a winner inside and outside the ring. You know,
Thanks.
overall, like you said, nobody knew. I didn't know the pain was to that degree. You know, that tenure of going through that. I didn't know. You know, we read about stuff on, you know, online, and we'll, you know, what's going on with Chris Byrd. You know, some websites they'll say, well, he going through this, but they never said to that degree. So that was your biggest fight.
No, the after I got that victory, nothing can stop me. I'm unstoppable. In my mind, you ain't gonna beat me. Not just because I fought at heavyweight and I'm fighting smaller guys. I just went through 11 years of pain. You think you gonna hurt me? Please. No. Life is precious to me, man. And I want to enjoy it as much as I can. So boxing, it comes so natural to me. I was like, I'm coming back. I'm gonna win me 3 world titles. 3 in my 50s. 3. Look at me looking like Moses. Look at this. But I love it. Feel great.
But look, you know, like I said, I would love to see you mix it up with the ones that should have been there back in the 90s. I want to see you get in there with Roy. I want to see you get in there with Tony. I want to see you in there with Tarver, B Hop, because to me, those fights should have happened. I can't believe that
Yeah, but
fight didn't happen. Like, you know, I mean,
I couldn't believe it either.
you know,
I
it's like
couldn't.
your track record already shows that you would have been with it. You would have been with it.
Yeah.
So, you know, what was it? I mean, was it a money thing? People didn't want to, you know, you can come to the right split on the purse. You know what valid reason would you say, man, I can't, you know, this we already said it. Like you said, you know, they need to answer that question. And like you said, they probably
Well,
never.
but the thing is this: you got 2 Hall of Famers. I'm probably borderline. You know, they may squeeze me. You never know. But they fought each other. Well, you coming up in my weight. I mean, if they fought each other, you should be able to me because anytime my name mentioned, it's like I'm telling you, I'm being very honest. Everybody started making excuses. They scatter. I'm like, really? I've been the Ebola virus since I was, and I'm talking about the Ebola virus from the 90s. This new Ebola virus, you don't get that sick. The one in the 90s, man, blood everywhere. It was crazy. So I'm like, I'm that.
But
I come around, everybody, oh, okay, I'm sick now. I can't fight him.
HBO would say that though,
So
because they would say you were small enough to make problems for the big guys, but even at smaller size, you was even more trouble for guys you were bigger than. So, you know, you just had that style, that you know, that caliber that made you kind of difficult. And you had the speed, and you was doing the shoulder roll, and you was fast, all that. I mean, so trust me, I got it. Why people was kind of trying to stay away from you, but
yeah.
at the same time, I was still like, man, you know, this is boxing. You know, like mix it up, man. What's the hold up? Like, you know, everybody say that they come to show that they the best. If you come to show that you the best, you know, put it out there. And you fought big time McCline. I remember I thought you was crazy with that fight. I was like, you finna fight big time McCline? And this dude, he must love it. He must love boxing. That's how, I mean, I really looked at it like, you really must love boxing to fight this dude.
270.
And you won.
Yeah, 270 though. He was 270. He trained down to 270.
Wow. And that, that's your homeboy too, you know. So it's like,
Yeah.
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 I'm like, man, you must really love boxing to where you ain't have no excuses. You gonna fight your homeboys, you gonna fight anybody can get it. You know, you really.
Hey, I'll fight anybody. And the thing is, I don't hate you. We boys.
Yeah.
Afterwards, we can kick it. I just want to prove to you that I'm better than you. That's it in my sport. I mean, you know, I had some bad nights, but I still, hey, I could never get a rematch. Right after I lost to Ika Bambushi, I was like, dang, can we get a rematch? I know I can. I know he won't catch me on the road. I told Max Kellerman, watch, I'm gonna lay on the ropes, have fun. But 15 days, I could tell you on video, 15 days before the fight, I had separated real bad. Oh my goodness, man! I'm arguing with my wife at the time. She's like, "No, you gotta cancel the fight." I'm like, "I can't cancel. Nobody want to fight me. I gotta fight him. I got Ike Abebuchi to agree to fight me. I gotta fight him. I'm going through with it." So I went through with it, paid the price for it. Dang it, I got caught. I was like, dude. Thing. And it happened. It happened to me again at the end of my career.
I think you was
with Alexander Povetkin.
I think you was winning that Abebuchi fight up until you got caught.
See, if you listen to the commentators, he was just destroying me, man. And then got the people. The fight been years ago, but people talk about the fight now. You thought I got killed. You're like, man, Micah Bebucci was just killing me. I'm like, really? Okay.
You was frustrated.
I mean, everybody say it.
You was frustrating him a lot because he was swinging wild, you know, and more he was swinging wild. I remember that. He, you know, he out. I think he's out of jail now, right?
He's something like that. It's like he's we just looked him up a couple of days ago. I think he's still under some kind of restriction where he can't do anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know I have read something.
He'd have been interesting. He'd have been very interesting.
Man, I definitely, because I know you wasn't gonna back down from a rematch, so that definitely would have been something that I would have and still would want to check out now. So, you know, again, it just shows what I want.
I would love it.
The main thing that I want my students and my followers to get from this is that the commitment that you put in, my brother, and no excuses that you put in when you want to accomplish a goal. And at this point, you've accomplished everything. You became a heavyweight champion from middleweight. You know, I didn't know that because they always give Roy Jones the credit for moving from middleweight to heavyweight. So I thought you started out at light heavyweight. I didn't even know you moved up from middleweight too and won
I won a silver medal Olympics. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I won a silver medal Olympics at middleweight. So I was gonna fight at junior middleweight when I first after the Olympics at 154. I didn't get signed. I'm probably the only medalist ever never to get signed. I was devastated. I mean, I was like, really? I grew up poor, 8 kids in the house. I finally made it. I won a silver medal. I got nothing for my medal up until this day. Nothing. No, I guess I was real skinny in the Olympic. I fought at 165 and I was skinny, but I really was fighting at 156. I moved up. So I was a skinny kid. So after the Olympics, I won a silver medal. I'm like, I seen Oscar De La Hoya win a gold medal 2 fights before me because we're on the same Olympic team. He came in the locker room. I'm like, damn, I'm finna win me a gold medal. Came back with a silver. Come home, had a few people come in and want to sign me. never called back. I'm sitting there 3 months after the Olympics, like no offers, nothing. The forgotten about. Matter of fact, they were saying a guy on my Olympic team, Raul Marquez, they kept saying he was the silver medalist. In every post, they say I'm like, what? They just did, and then I'm forgotten about. I'm like, man. So a promoter from Vegas, I'm not gonna say a name, he calls my father and say, I see Chris not doing nothing, so we could put some shows on for you if you need it. My father's like, okay, cool, coming in town. They came in town, little buzz in town, saying the show, we're gonna put on the show. So January 28th of 1993 was my first pro fight. I was so excited, man. But even that day, I got locked out of my house. It was wintertime. I had a brand new Rottweiler. We both got locked out. We was walking around for about 3 hours, cold, the day of the fight. Then, I get back in, that they get the doors open. So I go to my fight. I'm like, okay, cool. But by the time my fight came, it wasn't nobody there. I'm like, this is my pro debut in my hometown. Literally about 100 people came. I was like, dang.
Did they promote it at all?
I'm like, I'm starting my pro career like this. About 100 people in there. And then to add insult to the insult, go big to the back, everybody to get paid, nobody got paid. I was guaranteed $60,000 my first fight. I didn't make zero. My first fight, I'm like, I mean, you talk about this shock. I was getting married a month later, and I had a brand new baby. Bills, everything. I banked it on what they were gonna do for me. The promoter, they said, we're gonna fight this fight, then we're gonna go on the road and fight all kind of fight, make money, do all this stuff. Career crashed. I was like, welcome to pro boxing, Olympic silver medalist. Next fight, me and my brother get a free membership at the Gold's Gym, and the guy at the Gold's Gym that was working us out said, hey, I could put on some shows for you. So he put on a show, nobody come again, nobody get paid.
You gotta be kidding.
That's two. I'm like, really? So one day I'm cutting grass with my brother. He was it was his side gig. He worked at GM, but he would give me all the money from cutting grass because he knew I didn't have nothing. So I was cutting grass, and this thought came in my head, man, I'm going to heavyweight. Nobody want me at this weight. They don't want me. I mean, I was so depressed. I'm like, really? No money, borrowing from everybody, broke. But I had a silver medal in my house, in my apartment. I had an A-shaped apartment at the time, borrowing money to pay the rent. So my brother Patrick called me one day. He almost made the Olympics. Also, he lost the Olympic trials, and he said, "Man, nothing going for us, man. I made some flyers. I'm gonna go out to some of these businesses in Flint, Michigan. Ain't that much money there, and see if somebody can help us out. Ask for some money." I was like, money for what? You gonna ask for money, what, to live? He's like, nah, I'm just gonna go out and ask to see if somebody can help us. He runs across a man. He went to some businesses and then ran across the man named Dave Lesage. He owned a laminating business. He said, I don't have much money, but I have a venue. I got access to a venue. If I can get some help, man, I could put some shows up for you guys. I see in the paper that the business of boxing is stalling your career. Man, my brother called me. We got to call Pops because my father put on a show. He Mr. Boxing. So they got together. Next thing you know, Knockout Promotions is in effect. I'm fighting in a little smoky nightclub, 250 people, Olympic silver medalist. I moved up to heavyweight. Now I'm fat. I'm real fat, but skinnier. I didn't have any money, so I ate all the trash food. Oh man, I ate the junk. In the poor area is 99-cent hamburgers. $1.29. All the cheap. Man, trash my body. All I wanted to do was put on weight. So I put on the weight. Knockout Promotions is in effect. I'm fighting at a nightclub. Man, I was so scared the first fight because I never fought big before. I weighed 193 pounds, and I was like, dang, man, these guys are big. Because I always fought at like 160, 156, 160, 165, around there. Now I'm fighting in the 90s. I'm like, dang. And then after that first fight, I fought all heavyweight. I mean, 240 the next fight, 250, 6'5", 6'4". And I'm killing these guys in the nightclub. My hand speed and my defensive tactics, man, I'm killing these guys because they low-level heavyweights. They slow, they can punch, but I would blow them out. I mean, I would put on a clinic in the nightclub. But I fought my way from the nightclub. The most I ever made in a nightclub was let me get it right. I made $1,000. The most I made. I fought there 7 times. I made 600. I built my way up to 1,000. So I get a call to fight at the Palace of Auburn Hills where they play the pro games. And that's where the big show, they put on boxing shows there. I always say I'm Olympic silver medalist when I say something. I'm Olympic silver medalist, and I'm fighting the walk-in bout. The first bout, but I'm fighting a killer. I'm fighting this heavyweight that was a super heavyweight when I was a 139 in the 1988 Olympic trials. I'm fighting him now. I'm like, goodness. He's 5'9", dreadlocks, all muscle. I put it on him. Because when a brother desperate, I'm desperate. I beat the dog snot out of him. But USA Tuesday Night Fights tape everything. So they said, man, where has he been? Where's this kid? And he's a heavyweight now. I weighed 204 pounds, and I was soft. I look bad, but I'm a heavyweight. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, I'm fighting on USA Tuesday Night Fights. I'm fighting everybody. I'm 12-0, 11-0. I fought Arthur Williams. Arthur Williams just lost his cruiserweight title the fight before I fought him. I'm 11-0. I'm a cruiserweight, really. We weighed almost the same when we fought. So I'm like, man, then I'm fighting Phil Jackson, Lionel Butler. I mean, the list goes on. All these fringe contenders that fought for a heavyweight title or was in the top 10. I'm fighting them all. Like they one after another. I'm like, dang. But I'm beating them. Making a mess, doing my thing, and then you hit the higher level. You like the Ika Beabuchis, the David Tuas. You like, oh, then you hit the Klitschko's, you like, man, you hitting levels and levels. It was the most fun ever, and I'm about to do it again. Yeah. In my 50s. I'm 50 years old, and all through my 50s, I'm gonna have a major career. And watch, I'm gonna win the world titles that I told you about. I'm gonna clown these guys. Yeah. I got knowledge.
I believe it. But do you think the promoters will be able to block you some kind of way?
Social media. Yeah. I'm trying to build a following now to where, man, my comeback literally is about the fans. The fans, they deserve it. They make you. I'm trying to make fights for the fans. I'm trying to interact with the fans. Like, I want them to push my career so much. I'm like, no, it's about what y'all want. Who you want me to fight? Who? Let's get it. Because I'm willing to fight anybody. I don't care.
It's gonna be like class in session when you fight the younger guys.
That's what I want.
I want it. It's gonna be class in session. They're gonna be like, "Oh, I got schooled by the OG." But
yeah, by the OG. That's it.
They'll make that excuse like he the OG. So yeah, he schooled me boxing lesson. But I want you to call out James Toney, Antonio Tarver, Roy Jones Jr. Bernard Hopkins. Who else out there? Them the ones who I felt like they should have. They owed it to you to, out of respect. Like, look, this dude kind of paved the way. Even though y'all all were in the 90s together, but you made the leap to heavyweight first.
Yeah.
I never heard of that until they said you did it. When
Yeah.
he came up from light heavyweight, like I said, they would never mention the middleweight part. They would always say Chris Byrd moved up from light heavyweight to heavyweight and became,
Middleweight.
yeah. They
Yeah.
would always say Roy Jones moved up from middleweight and came and became champion when he beat Ruiz. But I mean, you fought Ruiz too, right? Did you fight Ruiz?
Nah. I never fought John. John was my boy.
Oh,
We fought amateur together.
oh, okay, y'all did amateur. Okay,
Yeah. We would have fought. I mean, we would have fought, but it never just.
it just never
I'm willing
materialized.
to fight. Put it like this: I'm willing to fight everybody.
But look, so y'all started y'all promotional company, Knockout Promotions. That was y'all.
It wasn't me. It was my promoter, Dave Lesage. He put it all together. He was like, okay. My father just helped him with the shows, but
Oh,
he was the business mind behind. He come from zero business of boxing, and he died when he was 50 years old. I'm coming back at 50. How ironic. But what he started me from scratch, nothing, and got me all the way to HBO. And that's when he died. After my first HBO fight, he passed away like a couple months later. And he just wanted to see that fight. He said, "Man, look what we got.
yeah.
We come from the." And then he didn't get to see me fight Klitschko, because the first thing I thought about after I won, when Klitschko quit, was the nightclub. I was like, man, I came from the nightclub to get to the highest level. And this is look, he 27-0 with 27 knockouts when I fought him. And nobody asked me, how'd you get to the 10th round? How'd you get there? Nobody got there before. But they just criticized me for him throwing his shoulder out and all this stuff. I'm like, well, how'd he throw it out? He was missing.
Damn.
I mean, come on, give me some credit. I mean, they give me no credit. HBO just ran me down. But you know, sometimes that happens.
Because HBO, that was seemed like that was all they had. They was looking for the great white hope or whatever. But I mean, I said the same thing you said. In order for somebody to throw their shoulder, they threw their shoulder out. Like the brother got skills. This count just as much as the offense.
Right?
So your defense is what won the fight. A win is a win. So
it is.
And it wasn't no fluke. You got in. It was man versus man. It wasn't no fluke victory at all. So I hope you don't listen to the naysayers.
Never.
And I know your mind, how you just explained it to us, your mind is too strong for that. So I know you didn't buy into that at all. You won that fight fair and square. The only time he been stopped, I guess Lennox Lewis, he was giving it to him too, but you officially stopped him. When you look on that boxing record, it says lost, quit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's it. It's a loss. And that's how I look at it too. If it was flipped, I lost. I can't change the decision, so I lost. So it's just part of it, man. You go through a career, you like I felt like I was second tier, like I was always on the B side, because everywhere I had to fight in Germany 5 times. Even though I was champion, I won a title. I go back over there, and you feel like you're on the B side because you fight the Klitschko, and he wasn't champion, and then you lose, and he took both of my belts, so you lose again, and you like, Then you go to certain promoters, and they treat you like you really on the B side because you don't. Instead of promoting you, they look at all the negative about you. Like, I wasn't a puncher. Well, he's not exciting. He's not this. He's not that. Why don't you promote the David and Goliath then? Look at the small guy risking his life every time he gets. Look at how big these guys are. Promote it that way, but nobody wanted to promote it that way. I'm like, I'm so small. I could have came at 200 pounds. I mean, my weight was going way down at that time. I mean, I would eat drink all kind of stuff before the weigh-ins to make it look good. Like, for instance, I fight Jamil McCline. We weighed in on Thursday. on a Thursday because it's all heavyweights. We could have waited on Monday, but we usually waited on Saturday. So we waited on Thursday this time. Thursday, I weighed 214. He weighed 270. I fight Saturday. Saturday morning, I get on the scale, I weigh 204 pounds. Jamil, I asked him like 3 years ago. I was in Florida. I said, "How much you weigh? How much you put on?" Man, he said that was 2 days. Man, I probably weighed between 280, 285. I know he did because my father went through the ropes. He looked at me before he went through the ropes, and he looked at Jamil. Then he looked at me like, "Oh my goodness." And that's the first fight where I thought, how did my parents think in the corner? My mother and father was in the corner. Now, knowing that I'm really a middleweight and I'm fighting a 270-pound giant. Think about that.
Franzo Kendo, he wasn't big as McCline big time, but Franzo Kendo, he was pretty big too, though.
He's a solid guy. I fought a guy named what's his name? I forgot his name. He played football. Ross Purity.
Purity, yeah. I remember that.
247, 49, or 255, all muscle. This is a USA Tuesday night fight card. He had a draw with Tommy Morrison. I mean, he knocked Tommy Morrison down twice. Boom, boom. And then they expect me to beat him easy. I weigh like 210. He 250. I'm like, if he kissed me one punch, it's over.
Did Purity beat Vlad too?
He beat Vlad early. Yes, he did. He beat Vlad. And I'm like, and I fought him on USA Tuesday night fights. Won every round and then get criticized because I was a higher rated guy and I should have stopped him. I'm like, really? Nobody stopped this guy.
I hate that about boxing. I hate that about, these people, who never been in the ring saying what somebody in the ring should have done.
Yes.
We watch, we fans. We just appreciate the work you put in to act and become a master at your craft.
Yeah.
I can't say, oh, this dude should have knocked him. I ain't saying that because you got two men going at each other full speed. Anything can happen.
Yep.
Only certain people like yourself who got a real strategic skill set that you're gonna say, well, this person should win more than they lose. So when I look at you, I say, Chris Byrd, yeah, he should win more than he lose, barring some punch or something like that, because he got a real skill set about himself from the defensive to the offensive. Now you say, yeah, you're not a puncher, but I ain't finna sit there and let you punch me. I mean, the punch is gonna hurt somebody. So, and you got some knockouts under your belt. It ain't like, it ain't like you 47 and 5 with no knockouts. You know what I'm saying?
A knockout. Yeah, one.
Yeah,
so, that's true.
Yeah. So somewhere them punches is hurting somebody in something. Yeah. And if you didn't think you could punch, I doubt you wouldn't be thinking about making a return. If you ain't think you could smack something. Hip hop is a big part of our organization. Like I said, we do literacy skill, grammar skills, comprehension. And Flint, Michigan got some of my favorite rappers. And back then, you had MC Breed, Gone But Never Forgotten, Top Authority. Who else I like? Dayton Family, Jake the Flake.
Oh, dang.
What's some of the hip hop artists you like and that you train or work out to?
Man, I love hip hop, but my favorite artist of all time is Rakim.
Oh, you can't go. That's it.
He's the one for me. And then honestly, I'm really a big East Coast guy. I mean, Biggie to me is lyrical genius to me. This guy's, but it's like Tretch from Naughty by Nature. When you hear him, oh man, Eminem, that boy nice. Gotta give it to him. Man, people say, oh, he white boy in the no, he nice. No, he can go. So I listen to it. Honestly, I like, as I'm 50 now, It used to be all East Coast. Like I like just like New York City, period. But now I'm just liking everything. I mean, all kind of music, all kind. I love rap because I train to it. So I have all kind of artists, especially like old school Tribe Called Quest. That's one of my favorite. Quest and all those just old school stuff. I love music though, man.
Yeah, that makes sense then and as far as Hall of Fame go, so it makes sense why you so stylish with your fights. You got some swagger, and as far as Hall of Fame go, how can they keep you out? You know, how can they
Hey,
keep you out? You not
sometimes it's about popularity. When you're so popular in the sport, some guys get a pass, get in. Man, I try to fight everybody. I mean, I never turn down fights. You try to fight everybody. I'm avoided like crazy. Everybody avoid me. I should be in the Hall of Fame for all the people that avoided me. Check this out. When George Foreman won the title in 1995, my lawyer called me. He said, I got some good news and I got some bad news. He said, it's 50 guys HBO sent to George Foreman to fight. And he agreed to fight 49 of them, but one of them on the list, he didn't want to fight. And guess who it was? Yes, he said, I won't fight him. 50 guys. I'm 15-0 at the time. 15-0. He was like, I don't want that Ali thing to happen again.
That's right.
And I'm left-handed. I would have embarrassed him so bad. He would have looked so slow. Everybody, my brother started laughing. He was like, man, you would have been wrapping around him so fast. He'd have been like, oh, why am I even in the ring? I hate this. This is hurt my brain because he's just making me frustrated. He's too slow. I mean, if he catch you, yeah, that's all. But see, for me, all the heavyweights are the same. If they catch me, yeah, you caught me with a great punch. I should go. I'm a middleweight. But if you don't catch me, ooh, I'm a hard matchup, brother. Just
And
them.
you made me think of another name, Michael Moore. Should have been coming to see you. Should have been trying to mix it up.
So check this out. So I love Mike, but think about it. You talk about Mike. Mike fought David Tua too.
Yeah.
How long did that go? 29 seconds.
You're right.
I'm just saying, I'm a hard matchup. You got to look at every aspect. You said the toughness part. Boxers see that. They like, ooh, dang, he could take, man, look at that. He taking all that. Hey, then they start figuring in mind. In sports, period, basketball, football, everybody know who nice. They know, ooh, man.
Yeah, that was never no question. Sorry. That was never no question. You was always mentioned as the what if component. Like,
but I wasn't popular. I had no popularity. Like my popularity, if I was popular, the fights would be demanded. They would have been like, oh, why would Roy win a heavyweight title and go all the way back down to light heavyweight? And I'm right there. I'm 200. I'm the lightest dude in the division. He go all the way back down to light heavyweight. If I was popular, they would demand the fight. I wasn't. I mean, he fought John Ruiz. Think about that. He fought John Ruiz and not me. And I'm the lightest guy. And I'm more popular than John. But they made that fight huge, like Roy did the impossible, and made John popular too. So what about me? James Toney. Who did he fight? I was at the fight. He fought John Ruiz. I was heavyweight champion. What does that say? I don't need to criticize nobody. Facts. These are facts right here, right in front of you. If you want to fight, let's fight.
And the reason why I just knew you and Tony was gonna get it on because both from Michigan, both represent Michigan. I mean, I just knew like who gonna hold it down for Michigan? Like who really?
Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
And who got a louder mouth than James Toney? You know, he fought Samuel Peters. You know, he fought. You know, he fought people that I'm like, oh, this gotta happen. This we finna finally see who got Michigan on lock. You know, and well,
He didn't talk much trash about me.
nothing.
A little bit, and we were going at it after he won the title, and me and James cool. We're cool. We're boys, you know. But we were going at it after he won the cruiserweight title, where he beat Jiroff in Connecticut, right after the fight. And I'm like, dude, I'm here. Look, I face everybody. Why would I be afraid of you? That's all I gotta say. Look at my resume. Have I ever turned anybody down? I'm fighting Klitschko's, and now I'm gonna be scared of James Toney. Okay. Roy, he'd been knocked out by a couple guys doing his thing, and even before he'd been knocked out, I'm fighting an undefeated Ika Beabuchi. You think I'm scared of you? Really? No, I'm afraid of the big man coming at me. The little guys, I'm like, okay, I'm used to fighting guys with skill sets like that. That's my era.
As a fan, like I said, we know you. Anybody that's a fan of boxing would know you was popular in the sport. I mean, I don't know about to the casual or the fan, but to a boxing fan who just watch all the fights. Oh, we know, everybody know about Chris Byrd. Now, what I would hear is the risk ain't worth the reward, because if you're a champion and you got a bunch of prestige about yourself, you get in the ring with a Chris Byrd, you finna lose all of that. You know, you really putting that all on the line. So I think it was more of how much people respected you. You know, like I think it was a respect thing.
I wish I felt it when I was boxing. I feel it now. They show me all kind of love. But when I was boxing, you know, he's boring. He don't punch that hard. This is stuff they saying about me. And then I'm like, okay, you listen to Larry Merchant a lot. Because he the one started all that. He don't know boxing. He never fought before. And he'll criticize the mess out of me. We don't want to see none of this boring stuff. I'm like, really? Instead of criticizing, we're the David and the Goliath story. Do you notice this man is 36 pounds bigger than me? I could be a boot. I weigh 208. He 244. 244. And I don't get no credit for it. I'm hanging in there with him. I'm fighting him. And it's like I'm running all over the place.
Like I said,
I'm trying to use my skills.
That fight was, you know, either right there neck and neck, or I had your head by a round up until, you know.
I mean, it's a close fight. So and then I get criticized. And then he criticized me for, why is he pouting after? I didn't even know where I was. I'm spitting slob coming out of my mouth, and he criticized me. A man had never been hit before.
Yeah, I'm glad your mind. Glad your mind is too strong to.
Oh, too strong. I came back and won world titles.
What? Right? Say that. Say that, my brother. You came back and won the world title. One thing you just said tonight that I want our students to really hear is that you said during your 11 years, that's emotional for me too, hearing that. But you was talking about how cannabis helped you heal. So
yeah.
What you think about that, as far as like what's going on now, pandemic wise, and you think that's something that could be?
It's the best. So cannabis is like this. Everybody think about cannabis in the smoking. I smoke it. Yes, smoking is a Band-Aid. That's what it is. It can help for a moment, and then the pain gonna come back, or some ailment gonna come back. But when you do it in high doses and you have an expert that can explain it to you the way that the expert explained to me, and how she had me on a certain regimen and what I had to do, it was strict. She was like, if you listen to me and do what I tell you to do over this, I think it was like 6 weeks or a month, I can get you better. So I'm like, I want to get better, and did it the right way in oils, in tinctures, and I mean in just raw, and it's just all natural. And but the big thing was leaves. First, it was the cannabis leaves, and she hit me to that and educated me on that, and then the oils, high levels of THC though. I mean, it would put me out for like a day, day and a half, 2 days, but it healed my body. I mean, you have to go through it to heal it. And everybody's saying marijuana, marijuana, marijuana. They need to study the plant. If you study that plant and knowing how many um, medicinal properties that's in it that can help heal the body, it's many. The plant has like over 100 properties in it that can help you with something. But everybody look at the THC, and now it's CBD is the new thing around, and it's diluted. You know, you don't get the pure natural to heal the body. So if you go with an expert and then understand it, or do research, do the true research on it, and understand how that plant work, then you're like, now I understand, instead of having this old school mentality of it's a bad thing. It gets you addicted. It's a gateway to other drugs. So, okay, now you're going to take all these prescription pills. And I'm not saying that all prescription pills are bad. They're not. You know, they help people. But for a lot of people, they get addicted. Like for me, suicidal, depressed, going crazy. It didn't work for me. Cannabis did. And it really helped me. And then it stopped helping me more when I really got educated in it. So I'm very strong component of cannabis where it helps heals the body. It's all natural. It come from the earth. So if it come from the earth, a true natural thing from the earth, it must be good for you. If people are doing it, it must be pretty good.
And is that like sativa or indica or any particular type of plant that?
No, that's just different parts of the plant, of with sativa. That's just either making you tired or awake, keeping you alive. Certain parts of the plant do that, but the and I mean the healing part of it, wow, man, it can really heal the body in a lot of areas.
You're a living testimony to that.
Yes.
Man, thanks for your time, man. I know you busy, man. We really appreciate you taking the time out to talk to us and educate us on the plants, just to having just the importance of having a strong mind, the importance of
Yes.
having a strong mind. You did this for many, many years, from the start of your career, going through bad promotion. A lot of people would give up then. Man, I'm
Yeah.
not doing this. The promotion was bad. I'm not.
Yep.
You move past that. You know, fighting. Low level opposition. A lot of people. I ain't gonna never make it up to the big boys. Up. You make it through that. Then you fighting, and you winning against top level competition. You take your first loss, that could have scarred you. I'm done. You come right back. So
Yeah.
I was right when I always said Chris Byrd represent heart. A lot of like my boys, they would say
Mm.
he got the speed, man. He got the speed. I'm like, no, he got this. Dude,
I appreciate that.
he not no quitter. He not no excuse maker, and that that's rare. That's rare when it comes to not just a professional, but just a man. Period. That's a
Yeah.
something to live by. Not making excuses and not sulking in defeat and not celebrating too much when you're victorious.
Yeah.
I mean, all of those things shows character. So this is something I want my students to really think about as they go forward, and me too. As I go forward, I'm thinking about like Chris Byrd he ain't quit. Why would I quit? I ain't
Yeah.
boxing, but just at any level
Anything.
of adversity, right? So,
Yeah.
um, before we end, I want you to give a shout out to our organization, Craig Clifton Inc.
Shout out to Craig Clifton Inc. Sorry about that. It failed. Craig, yeah, I love it. I love the name.
Thank you, sir. And once again, thanks for talking to us. Hopefully, we can get you to come back during class and they'll
Yeah, that'd be cool.
they'll have some questions for you. I'm sure after they see this, they're gonna be looking all your videos up and looking at
Yeah.
anything in particular they should look at or anything.
Well, I'm on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all that, posting videos every day. Every day. I got a true story videos coming out, true stories of boxing and just stuff in life. You know, it is all just meaning of life, being positive, trying to get to the highest level, whatever the highest level it is for you. I mean, everybody, they have all these thoughts and dreams they want to get to, but they never get there. We live one time. One time. When I turned 50 years old, I'm like, that's when it really hit me. So I'm like, man, live every day as happy, have a smile on your face, be joyful, inspire other people, and be inspired. I love it. I love hearing stories. Hey, man, it's about us connecting and try to push each other to be better every single day. I'm telling you, man, I just love life now, man. When I was going through all that pain and you keep thinking about death, death, death. Man, it'd be better to be dead. You like, then you realize how many people you got hurt and what kind of impact you still can have on this planet. Impact. And my impact, what I want to do is connect people. I hate all this racism. I hate the politics, people going at each other. I mean, stuff gonna happen. Everybody not gonna be good, but if we can just respect each other and everybody live out their life great, man, a healthy America, man. I was in the Olympics. Everybody got the world come together, the whole world come together. I didn't see not one fight. Everybody taking pictures, trading pins, doing all this stuff. Come back home, you hear all sirens everywhere, people hating each other. You watch news, you like, really? In your one life journey, your one life, you're gonna live it like that. Hating people, gossip, destroy all this. I mean, just corrupt us. Man, I started realizing that when I turned 50, I'm like, I'm pushing everything out. I used to be a junkie, a news junkie, read the paper. I got to know all the information. I don't know anything. I don't. I don't watch TV, listen to nothing. Everything positive. Let's get it, man. Let's live life to the highest level.
That's the one. Thank you, sir.
You know, you got it, brother. Thank you.
Blessings and peace to you. I can't wait to see your next move, man. Let the next move be your best move. I hope people stop ducking you, young and old. I think you got the skill set and just the natural aura to become a champion because you're already a champion. So
yes,
keep it up. We'll keep following. Salute you, sir.
Thank you so much. Right, and tell your champions, hey, get to the highest level, man. That's what it's about. You have a great night.
Peace.
Talk to you later.